Your show is some of the best radio.
And you guys always seem to put a smile on my face. The kids are enjoying it, and you're bringing people to Christ.
It is time music. Begin now.
The whistle goes, woo! So I was playing the HQ trivia game last night, and they had a question, you know, like, what is cardiology, the study of the heart, or Cardi B? And I was all, it's like, no, dude, it's the heart.
I don't even know who Cardi B is, and everybody keeps talking to me about
I
her.
don't get it. I still don't get it. I didn't get it last time I was here.
Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to Monday. It is April 16th.
Tomorrow's
Devo and
tomorrow's tax day.
What?
Did you do your taxes?
Yeah, bro, like in January.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh.
So I'm cranking on them. I was cranking on them all last night. And yeah, dude. I'm
like, what do you mean it's tax day? Taxes were months ago.
Spreadsheets. I have like true like math anxiety. Like, you know how some people like say, you know, let's say you were not you, but let's say a normal person.
Yeah.
You have a big crowd of people, okay?
Okay.
And they're like, oh, our speaker didn't show up. Why don't you go up there and just talk about something from the hip and just keep them entertained? Guess what? No problem.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Guess where I get that? But normal people would get that sinking feeling in the pit of their stomach, like, oh. You know what? You know when I get that feeling is when freaking Excel opens. That's when I get that feeling. Like I'm just like, what? Wait, bullet points?
Yeah.
Like I don't like putting stuff on paper. Like I just have zero administrative and straight up, dude. Like in algebra and stuff like that, I had to take a summer class on it for proficiency in college, and I would get A's and B's on the homework, F every test.
Oof.
Because I would freak out, dude. I was just like, it was debilitating. And the only reason I passed algebra, not that I recommend this, was because I asked Miss Hayworth to the prom. Because I had like a 59, right? And so that's an F. And so, you know, I go up to Miss Hayworth and I'm just like, wow, Miss Hayworth, will you go to the prom with me? And she's like, you know I can't do that.
Oh, my gosh.
D-. And I was all sweet. So there is the story of my life. I've been getting by on charm alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
For way too long.
Yeah, dude. I know.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's rough.
actually talented at anything.
Yep.
Although I'm like trying, you always hope as a parent that your kids do better than you. I
Yeah.
feel like my kids are going to be better because
Yeah,
of that.
I think so
I'm
too.
making them have skills.
Yeah.
Like you got to have skills to pay the bills.
I don't even need to make my kids. I think my kids just see like me and her parents, and they're like, he's really.
Yeah.
And so, so yeah. No, but it's true. You always like. I don't even understand. You'd be something like, I went to go return something, or, oh my gosh, my cable bill, my internet bill, so high, and by the time you get off some like 40-minute phone call, you've like. All of the companies, whoever direct, they've all given you something free.
Yeah.
And I called. It's cool. Yeah, instead of me owing them money, they're sending me a check for like $15 or something like that. You'd always have these crazy stories about how you're like working some deal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's called just communicating with them.
No, it's not called
It is
communication.
communication.
No, dude. You're doing like one of those like, you know how the vampires, you know, how like when they
Suggestive,
can use,
like.
yeah, they can use the voice and you do what they say, all Jedi mind trick. You're doing that on the phone. It's like, you will give me my membership for free for 1 year. They're like, Mr. Jeter, we'd love to give you your membership for free for 1 year. How's that sound? That sounds amazing. Why, thank you. Is there anything else we can do?
You're looking
Yes.
for.
Send me some money and give me all stations for free.
This is
You know
not
what?
true.
Hey, Mr.
This
Jeter,
is so
just
not
for customer
true.
sat, we're going to go ahead and cut you a check and give you whatever you want for free.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you're
just saying.
you're like hypnotizing him.
You know what the funny thing is? It's just called communication, people. This weekend.
Some people would call it manipulation.
No way, bro. You just got to, if you want, you go for it. Like you want something, you ask for it. This weekend, I took my son to Salt Lake City.
Oh, yeah.
And
I want to know the story, man.
yeah, dude, we'll talk. We'll definitely
Okay.
get into that. So, my son Jack, he won the state championship in archery, which was pretty incredible. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bro, he's qualified for the national championship. We got to get this kid to Salt Lake City. And I'm like, heck yeah, we do. When is it? This weekend. And I'm going, there's no way. Like, plane tickets are crazy expensive. I drive, but a teenager freaking texting and driving smashed my car, so I don't even have a car. So it's like, what am I going to do? Well, so we get there. We fly out there, and there were so many incredible people that helped get us there because, seriously, immediately it was like, Jack, how are we going to fundraise? And it's like, can we just start a GoFundMe, please? Like, we got 48 hours, and we'll do something amazing after. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we do that, and a lot of really rad people helped my son get there. But we get there, and instantaneously, I'm like trying to do everything on the cheap, obviously, because it's
Right.
like crash course.
Right.
And we land, and we go to get our rental car, and I'm like, I paid for like a cheap because
Yeah.
you know it's like, okay, well, if I go through the airline and this, then you get this, but I don't need that, and so I just want this because we don't have that much money.
And you didn't qualify for the like 3-wife discount. Oh, sorry. Is that not appropriate? Anyway,
Dude.
I don't think that's allowed there anymore. But still.
Oh, it's great. So we pull up to the old rental car place, and I had asked for, what was it, like
the super cheap
mi-
Econo. It's
No.
basically like a baked potato.
No,
with-
I still asked for the mid-size, right?
Oh,
And it was
okay.
like, oh, this one through, my Rapid Reward, yada, yada, whatever, is only like $13 a day or something
Okay.
like that. So I'm like, oh, I'll go this one because,
plus $70 in
'cause
fees.
Jack Scott is like
Yeah.
bow, and it's like crazy, and so I'm okay. So we get there, and they hand me my keys, and it's like it's gonna be this Hyundai thing out in the parking lot, and we get out there, and I get to like D7 or wherever my car is, and I look at it, and it's like the size of a roller skate, and I'm
yes.
like, no.
no.
No. And I look at Jack and I say, Jack, let me teach you a life skill. You see this car? This car is called a compact car. Now, Daddy paid for a mid-sized car. Watch how I do. And so we walked back inside. And I said, hey, man, excuse me. I don't mean to be a nuisance, but we paid for a mid-sized car, and this thing is like the size of a roller skate circa 1987.
Right.
There's no way this is mid-size. And they looked at it and they're like, oh my gosh, a Hyundai Accent? I'm so sorry. You know what? You're right, you did. That's so, and there, but I'm just like laughing and hanging out. And it's like, it's okay. I just want to get what I paid for. I'm
Right.
not asking for anything else. And they
Sure.
said, hey, you know what? How about we just upgrade you? Hold on. Here you go. Here's a full size blah, 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 blah. And we walked out there and it was like, ka-bling, like the coolest car to roll around in over the weekend.
Of course.
And
Of
I
course.
did nothing manipulative to get it. I
Whatever,
literally
dude.
walked back inside and said, excuse me.
So
This is not what I paid for.
Yeah, but you paid $13 a day.
I know.
Like, what is that? What did you pay for?
Exactly. And it
To
really
me,
was
that
like
would
that
be
cheap.
like someone tying a bunch of paper airplanes to my back, and they're like, "Go jump."
You attract more flies with honey than vinegar. I'm just saying, you got to be kind about the situation.
No,
It's
that's
like-
true, dude. That's
it's
how
like
I roll.
If you're at
Yeah.
a restaurant and they mess up your order or something, that
No.
person is working hard.
Yeah.
They didn't mean to. It's not like they're sabotaging your
No, no,
day.
no. You-
and when you're
you
kind
kill 'em
about
with
it, hey
kindness.
man, I'm so sorry.
They're like-
I don't mean to bother you, but
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's the
'Cause
approach for
far
sure.
too often you see people nagging and complaining and being angry. And you
Yeah.
see how that goes. It's like, okay, you want to be a jerk? Well, I'm going to be a jerk right back.
Yeah. No.
You just outdo one another in kindness. Biblical. So there you go. That's how you manipulate situations.
Oh my gosh. See, now you just said it. You should have just left it with like, that's how you like take control and and turn things around for the good.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. Man, see, now people are like, Steve-O is the king of manipulation. No, I'm not.
Dude,
I'm just
you're a
saying.
total Decepticon.
I'm from Texas, yo.
No, but
like,
that's a
it's that
legit
charm.
gripe. You did pay for this, and you didn't
Yeah.
get this.
Yeah.
But instead of going in there all jerk, like, what's up?
Come on, bro.
You're like, hey,
You seen
guys.
this Hyundai accent?
And because you're so cool, they upgraded you
It was very cool.
to the Oldsmobile
was
or
very
the
nice.
pink Mary Kay car or whatever it is you got, the pink Cadillac.
We were rolling in style. It was
That's
fun.
cool.
So we were in Salt Lake City this weekend, and we got there on Friday, and it was like snowstorm. Like we were in the snow. Yeah.
Was it snow or was it like dusty salt?
No,
from the
no, no,
lake?
no, no, snow.
Okay.
Like full on snow. People didn't know what to do. But I will say this: Salt Lake City is beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'd only been there one time before ever, and that was actually with you,
Yeah.
like years and years and years ago.
Yeah, we played like synth stock or something
Yeah,
like that.
you did some like crazy
Or no, we
goth
played
thing.
with, or was it with ABC?
No, this was at like some church turned goth club.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was like-
it was definitely not a church anymore.
No, it was not.
No, it was like a super goth club with like freaky mannequins hanging from the ceiling.
yeah, yeah.
We were playing in the basement part, which is where like the normal bands are, because all the vampires were upstairs. I don't know what it was, dude. With the Echoing Green, I think it's maybe because we didn't have our pictures on a lot of things, but like there was so many goth kids that loved us. Like we were featured on like vampirefreaks.com and
Yeah.
like it was cool for like all these like super scary looking people to dig our band.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have some black t-shirts,
I think that
I'm
was
like,
my first go with
but I
with
wasn't
you.
like a goth dude.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it was. I think that was. So, for those who don't know, Joey Belleville, lead singer in the Echoing Green, my wife, also in that band, and that was the first time I'd ever gone out to catch you guys like on a show.
I think it was when I started singing low. When I was like, when I started like throwing like low octave stuff.
It was the
behind
winter
there.
of our discontent
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
It was like super gothy.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that was amazing. So we went out there, and I fell in love with Salt Lake back then because it's so clean. Everybody's so kind. All that false hope running around. It's so great.
Dude, say what you want about Mormon theology. Okay, I'm not even going to get into that.
Right.
All I know is that my Mormon friends are way better, at least actions-wise, at acting like proper, upright, moral Christians than me or any of my Christian bros. You know what I mean? It's like my Mormon bros, like I can count on those guys to come through.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they probably have all my family history records and are, I don't know which one's the wife that week. But the thing is, like, they're like good, when it
dude.
comes to like people and like civic duties and general decency, this guy's always, we could learn a lesson from that.
Dude, it was great. Had a great time. Had a great time.
Whoa.
What?
How did he do?
Dude,
What
it was-
happened?
It was legit. We got there and it was intense. It's the NASP Western National Championship, and there were, I don't know, 1,500 people, something crazy like that shooting.
Okay.
And these were, you only qualify if you were the top 10 in your state. So
Right.
it was like from whatever school, so every single kid competing at different levels.
Okay, so they
Um,
had like a middle school category.
They had a middle
that
school
he was in.
category. They had an elementary school category. They had a high school category. It's the National Archery in the Schools Program, NASP. And so we get there, and out here at Convention Center State Championship,
It's his
there
first
was
super high pressure situation.
there was like 25 lanes, right?
Right.
Here in Albuquerque for the state championship. We get there and the room 50 lanes, all the way
Wow.
across, and it's like Easton is there, who manufactures like bows and arrows, and Matthews Bows was there. Like all these different companies were there. I mean, think like a Comic-Con
of bows.
of bow and arrows.
Right.
And it's like, and so we got there, and it was he qualified for bullseye or 3D targeting, and he's never done that, and it's like everybody wants to, well, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Where are you gonna go? And so he ended up doing the bullseye. But man, it was pretty intense competition. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
The kid that ended up winning the whole thing, I believe, was from Oklahoma. His parents own a ranch and they have an archery range on their property.
Right. It's called catching dinner. Yeah. So he's probably getting moving targets.
So
and
if it
stuff.
tells you how fierce the competition was, you get 30 arrows, and the kid that won, 27 out of the 30 arrows were bullseyes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Totally serious.
Wow.
He was 4 points off of perfect because a center
Wow.
bullseye is 10, and then it's like there's another ring within the bullseye.
Sure,
it's a
sure.
9.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like you could still get a bullseye, but only get a 9 if it's like
Understood.
outer bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah. 27 of his 30 arrows were a 10, a perfect 10.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was crazy, but he shot a 271, and he was amazing. So he came
Yeah.
in 37th overall.
Right.
So it was like, hey, that's cool.
37th out of like 200 something,
Yeah.
whatever is good.
Shooting for the national championship.
Yeah, dude,
So
that's awesome.
It was a really cool experience. Of course, now like he's talking to like junior Olympic people and all
Yeah.
this stuff to like
I
get on
would
a
have kicked in
team
some
and-
extra motivation. I would have bought like a Ruger, like a handgun, and that was engraved that said, "Son, if you win this, you're gonna get to step up to this," and it'd be like this gun that says "Jesus loves winners," like engraved on it. It'd be awesome.
Oh man, no!
Oh, okay.
I'm
That-
trying so
not
hard
the
not
right
to,
approach.
Like I just kept
Okay.
going. I don't know. I just kept
I
trying to
don't
go.
do guns.
I'm
I'm just
proud of
kidding.
you. I'm proud of you.
It's
no
just-
matter what, bro. It's so cool because it's like I didn't want him to be all nervous, but he was nervous.
Well,
Everybody
of course
was nervous.
he was, dude. But I mean, yeah, you do have to. You can't be that bummed because just the fact that you were there, and when you see how literally amazing the people were that beat you, if it doesn't feel like.
Right.
like he didn't chump out,
No,
right? Like he
no.
did well.
He didn't sail
there was
away.
Just was
Yeah.
just people that got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's awesome though.
It was incredible. He shot, and we had a fun weekend. Me and Jack we've never really had like a daddy Jack weekend where it
Yeah.
was just us. So
where he had your time, your attention.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool, dude.
I wish he was into more things because I kept going, what do you want to do? And he'd go, In-N-Out Burger. We were there for 48 hours and we went there 3 times.
Wow, they have one there.
They have like 10.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Is there
That's
like?
it's a giant city.
Yeah, no,
I didn't
I've
realize
been
how
there.
big. Yeah, I didn't realize how big it
And
was.
it all revolves around the center temple in the city. Like
yeah, which
there's
at
like
night
West
you
Temple,
can see
North
from
Temple.
space.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even
Yeah.
being funny. From space.
Whenever we would play show there, they'd be like, "Okay, guys, no jokes about the crazy underwear, no jokes about like this." We're like, "Okay." Here we
Dude,
go.
it was pretty cool. So shout out to Jack Jeter. He had a really, really good time, and yeah, it was insane.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, bro. It is Monday, and people are going, "Where's Dexter?" Dexter is out. Clearly, he is not here. So yeah, my buddy Brodus is hanging in studio with me this morning because we want to be live, yo. So we're gonna be kicking it this morning. I got so much to talk about. Jack and I, one thing we did do this weekend was go see a movie called A Quiet Place.
Oh, dude. Do you know how many people have asked me to go see that?
See, I don't know that I'd want to see. So for those that
I
don't know,
can't.
Brodus is a screamer.
I yell at any movie that has things that jump out at me. I can't handle the starter scares, the jump out scares.
Yeah.
And so I straight up scream or yell in the theater whenever it happens, and everyone around me, including everyone in the theater, laughs at me.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I usually don't want to go, and then my friends always try to talk me into come and see it, but I kind of want to see this one, but I know I'm going to yell and scream. But I've heard that like it's got so much silence in it that you can't even like eat your snacks without
No.
like disturbing
Upsetting
the movie.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Somebody coughed and it took me out of the movie, and I was going, no.
Wow.
To be fair, I definitely need to see it again because we got there and this movie's like selling out everywhere,
Yeah.
you know? And so Jack's like, cool, can we go see a movie? And we get there and it's like front 2 rows only. So we saw it from the second row corner, and I'm just
Oh,
sitting there
geez.
like staring up at this giant screen.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Was it scary though? Did you get scared?
man,
Was
I
it
don't even want to.
intense?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Krasinski directed this film. This is his
I know.
directorial debut. And I will tell you right now, he is brilliant.
Man.
You got to see it.
I
You
know.
love The Office.
I love Emily Blunt.
What you got to do is pretend like
Yes.
it's Jim from The Office in the future. This is what happened.
Oh, man.
And then you'll be like, Jim was awesome. He was so awesome.
How's Emily Blunt?
She's phenomenal.
I know.
I mean, that's his wife in real life. So
I know.
It works out.
She's my
And
celebrity crush. We're allowed to have like celebrity crush. It's like Emily Blunt. That's a blunt I
You
wouldn't
still
mind
have- I'm like,
smoking.
okay.
I'm just kidding. That's inappropriate. I'm sorry. It's still early. I
You
don't.
can't get fired.
No,
so
I
it
mean, I'm
works
not
out.
really.
I
It's just-
mean,
Just meant like have like salmon or pork roast, or you'd like set up the smoker and gives good
It's
flavor.
getting way
Hickory.
It's getting way worse.
So, hey, do you have music to play in the background, or let's go to something?
Oh my gosh. Bro just hanging out with me.
Sorry, man. I'm just a little rusty. Okay.
Good. It's good. Coming up, I got some inspiration for your Monday morning because nobody likes Mondays. Single Mama 5 talks about how she, graduated law school, just doing things in life. So if you feel like you haven't accomplished anything, we're going to make you feel worse. Also, a woman got an invoice from a dude for their date after she never texted him back. We'll talk about that. And gosh, yeah.
Wow.
Whatevs. Gonna talk the
Weird
box
people.
office on the way back. Rampage #1. Apparently, everybody went and saw that this weekend.
Dude, The Rock is the same in every movie.
Oh,
dude.
we're gonna talk about
every movie.
that. Talking about
I mean,
that.
it's not that I don't like it. It's good family fun.
Yeah.
But they should just call the movies The Rock 5. Like every movie he's in, whether it's the one where he's like a babysitter, or he's a substitute teacher, or he's a federal agent,
Yeah.
or he's in a video game, or he's chasing, or he's jumping off earthquake buildings, whatever. It's The
trying to
Rock
help a
5, The Rock
giant
6.
monkey.
It's The Rock
Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
That's what it all should just be called.
There you go. Box office results on the way back. Steve-O, JoJo. It's Morning Invasion. Stay with us.
Coming to Albuquerque May 1st at the Lobo Theater, Tyson Motzenberger, Tylen Motzentackle, Tyson Mulber Tackle. No. Hey, Daniel.
Yeah.
What's this? How do you pronounce this guy's name?
Motzenbacher.
Motzenbacher, that's right. Tyson Motzenbacher in concert. With special guest Matthew Wright
I was having a good day.
and John Van Dusen.
I testified against your case.
Tyson Motzenbacher. Coming May 1st to the Lobo. Get your tickets now. Only $10 at star88.fm.
Open your eyes, you're alive. Another fine night near the ocean.
The Solar Flare with Matt Chandler. The universe shudders in horror that we have this infinitely valuable, infinitely deep, infinitely rich, infinitely wise, infinitely loving God. And instead of pursuing him with steadfast passion and enthralled fury, instead of loving him with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, instead of attributing to him glory and honor and praise and power and wisdom and strength, we just try to take his toys and run. It is still idolatry to want God for his benefits, but not for himself. That's a Solar Flare on Star 88.
I know you don't think you're beautiful, 'cause we don't look like the girls on the cover of Vogue. beautifully created by the one who made the stars. Baby, that's just who we are. Take back what was taken. All those lies are vacant. We're gonna tear them all apart. Let the truth invade our hearts. Every freckle, every scar, you're a work of art. Baby, that's just who you are. You're a work of art. Every freckle, every scar, you're a work of art. Baby, that's just who you are. So girl, I want you to go. Shout it out loud. Shout it out loud. I want you to go. I want you to go. Shout it out loud. Shout it out loud. Shout it out loud. Every freckle, every scar, work out. Baby, that's just who we are. Every freckle, every scar, work out. Baby, that's just who we are. Shout it out, baby. Let 'em know. Let the whole wide world know. Let the world know. Let 'em know who we are. Yeah. That's just who we are. So shout it out. Go. Every freckle, every scar. Baby, that's just who you are. You're a work of art.
Ben Corson considers fear with a Star 88 PowerPoint.
The things that scare you the most are also the things you care the most about. Therefore, they're often the things you most need to do. So always do what you were afraid to do. Just like Isaiah, just like Samson, just like David, and ultimately just like Jesus. I'm not saying that go jump out of planes necessarily. I'm not saying go jump off buildings. I'm not saying go to the most unapproachable girl and flirt to convert. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, you know what I mean, as a general rule of thumb. When you're every day conquering some new fear, you're learning the secret to life. I'm not saying be crazy. How do crazy people go through the woods? They take the psychopath. I'm not saying be a psychopath. What I'm saying is fear is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. Did you hear me? Fear is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. When fear bullies you around, it's terrible. But when fear is a servant directing you in the direction you need to go, it can serve you as a compass.
That's Ben Corson, a PowerPoint on Star 88.
Look at us, stuck in a rut. I don't care. It's a snare, trapping us down with the dirt and the leaves. I can see inside the sun, through the trees, lighting the earth.
His book hasn't come out yet, but that hasn't stopped the White House from blasting the explosive memoir written by James Comey.
When the person that is supposed to lead the highest law enforcement agency in our country starts making decisions based on political environments instead of on what is right and what is wrong, that's a really dangerous position.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders on ABC's This Week.
President's approval rating slightly up, but still languishing very low. He's at about 40% approval. 56% of Americans disapprove of the job he's doing.
Rampage, starring Dwayne Johnson, earning more than $34 million.
The only thing that's missing right now is the giant crocodile.
There's a protest going on inside a Philadelphia Starbucks where demonstrators are calling for the ouster of the manager.
Radio host Art Bell has died at his home in southern Nevada.
If you had 360-degree vision, you shouldn't have to turn to see anything.
Heavy snow in the Midwest is again canceling flights in Minneapolis.
Oh, I know all about those canceled flights. Oh. Yesterday, traveling with my son Jack, he learned a very unfortunate word, delayed. We got to the airport at 5 a.m. in Salt Lake City. And because, we were like short notice traveling, we went from Salt Lake to LAX to Albuquerque.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. But it was snowing in Salt Lake. Everything was delayed. People coming from Minneapolis, delayed. So finally got to LAX, and our flight was delayed a few more hours from LAX to Albuquerque. It was crazy, man. But we made it home.
Did you guys have to fly like standby?
No.
It was just delays.
It was just delays and delays.
Rerouted you?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was insanity. But we made it. We're here. Happy Monday, everybody. Steve-O,
Good morning.
Brodus hanging out with me while Dex is out. But
just filling in for the bros.
Yes, dude. People are like, who's this guy? Well, this guy is like my brother, and not Scotty, like my other brother from another mother.
Right.
Who is no longer with us.
Yep. He's my other brother who has a father who's dead. It's true though, right? Your father
Yeah, it's
died
true. Yeah.
in a horrible plane accident.
Yeah, my mom
that had criminal.
My dad and your
doing
mom
criminal
could
activity.
be dating in heaven.
Well, see, here's the
Is that
part.
how it works?
Well, I mean, your dad like kind of died mid-crime, right? So I mean, I don't want to get into I don't want to like bum you out or anything, but I mean, he's like in the middle of the crime when it happened. So, but my mom was kind of a C&E Catholic, right? Like she, we kind of just went on.
Dang,
so
dude.
I'm sure, like,
dang,
we're just, even though we know it's not real, like, I think that both Steve-O and I are just kind of going to say that purgatory maybe is real in this situation.
Okay.
And they're hanging out there just waiting to see how things work out.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude.
See, now this is something that maybe we could hit up the Mormons about.
Oh my God.
What?
No.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Amazing. Man, it is Monday. Over the weekend, some chaos, if you will, with the box office. Rampage was #1 at the box office this weekend. Another Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. Yes, it's based on a video game. Somebody was asking earlier, like, wait, like Rampage based off the old school video game, or was it a Quentin Jackson autobiography? No, this is seriously based off of the movie. I mean, the video game from the 80s, like Giant Wolf.
Yeah, where
Giant
where you had to,
gorilla.
like, they're jumping on the
And
jumping on the
Godzilla.
buildings and
Yeah.
eating the buildings.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, yeah. And to be fair, it was Friday the 13th this weekend, and Rampage beat not one, but 2 horror movies at the box office. It made $34.5 million and barely edged out A Quiet Place, which made another $32.6 million. It's almost made $100 million in 2 weeks, A Quiet Place. I'm telling you, Brodus, you have to see this movie.
Yeah, I'm going to see it, dude. I'm just worried.
It's
I just
good.
know I'm going to yell.
If this doesn't win an Oscar for like at least sound editing, I'm going to lose my mind because it's all around pretty fantastic.
Okay.
So, but yeah, again, Rampage at the box office this weekend, #1. If you happen to go see it, The first question is why. If your name's Brody and you're 5 years old, I understand that because Brody really wants to see Rampage.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Dexter loves
I mean,
The
I
Rock.
saw the new Jumanji, and that was actually really fun.
I haven't seen it.
It's fun to see. Like, I took my kids to see it, and my kids are like early teens, so, and they were laughing, and we had a good time.
But here's the thing. As an adult, do you in turn go to your grown-up job and tell everyone you know that you went and saw all of The Rock's movies?
No.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
and I would not probably go see Rampage if it wasn't like to take my kids.
Well, here's the thing.
But if they had a rundown too, I would be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was his first movie. And it was classic back then. But now at this point, I think as adults, it's hard for us to want to express our feelings for The Rock. And so Hollywood is helping us out.
Rampage, the new Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie, took in more than $34 million at the box office this weekend, thanks in part to a daring new development in movie ticket technology. Because most people are too embarrassed to admit that they actually paid money to see a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie, tickets for Rampage actually say, "Nope, I didn't see Rampage," which will allow Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson fans to credibly deny that they paid $12.50 to see a movie about a giant monkey bent on destroying the world with the help of a giant wolf and a giant alligator.
Yeah.
Along with free disguises for people who don't want to be recognized at showings of blockers and or Sherlock Gnomes. It's just one of the many ways the Motion Picture Association of America is making it possible to spare the movie-going public from the shame and embarrassment so often associated with today's blockbusters.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, America. And for what it's worth, maybe you should think about reading a book.
Yeah, no, seriously, read a book. read a book.
Yeah. I'm into I do audiobooks.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Is that the same, though, as having to read a book?
Well, no, it's
Do
a
you read
massive
along?
step forward. Well, okay. So so for my birthday one year, Father's Day one year, my kids got me a Kindle. Not one of those fancy one that's like in color, but like the paperwhite.
Yeah.
Which is really different. Like, I don't like to read on my iPad because it's illuminated. So because it's a backlit the way it is, like, it can kind of strain your eyes if reading something longer than an article or something. So so the Kindle thing has some weird like technology where it feels like you can read it in the sunlight. Like, it feels like you're reading paper.
Right.
And so it's just really, really nice. So what I found was that because they own Audible or whatever, I could get an audiobook version of it. I could read at home, and then when I jump in the car, I could resume where I left off in the audiobook version.
That's cool.
And then get out and come back and go through the other things. So that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
But then I enjoyed listening to the audiobook because it's like really long podcasts, right?
Right.
And so so I started listening to audiobooks, which I'll admit is like a massive step forward for literature, but like 2 giant steps backward for literacy, right? And so like to say that I read that book, that's not really fair. And it's not helping
Some
anybody.
old dude with a British accent read you that
and
book.
it's not helping anybody who like any young people who think that, texting is how you spell real words properly.
Right.
I think that reading, we got to find a way to make it cool again. I think there just needs to be like another Harry Potter book.
Maybe I was just about to say maybe we
something
need
like
better
that.
books.
There are really good books out there, but we need like Harry Potter was the last time, and I thought it was like this revolution. Well, because it was, but I remember I'll never forget. Here in like this digital age, I'm seeing a line around the building like a movie for the release of a book, like a bunch of people in line around.
We were
like,
there
the
for
bookstore.
what was it? Goblet of Fire? Or no,
something like that.
Half-Blood
Yeah.
Prince. I can't even remember.
And it was like there was like, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is really, really cool. People need to be reading more.
They do.
My wife likes books. Now let me just clarify that. She likes books. She doesn't like to read books. She likes the way they look on the shelves. And like, and like the smell of them sometimes.
Right.
But she likes to have shelves that have books. And but she doesn't read books.
Oh no,
Like,
I feel you.
But she, like the last book she does read once in a while. It's got to be something special. Like the last book she read was the Levi Lesko book.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And she was in it, dude. She
Yeah.
was like in it. And but other than that, man, it's really just like brochures, handouts, pamphlets,
yeah,
and articles about chemtrails.
But your house looks amazing
on Facebook.
And dude, okay, so does that mean she's sided with Alexa? Because here's the thing: we both worked at Apple together. We're both fans of Apple, and they're enemy, if you will. You got Siri, and then you've got Alexa.
Right.
Alexa is currently helping to continue a conspiracy theory, and we've got to talk about this because I know back in the day you were like all about conspiracy theories, especially like, did we actually go to the moon?
I love conspiracy theories, and I wish like the lunar conspiracy theory is the one that I kind of know isn't true, but the one I kind of wish is true. Like I secretly would
How do you know it's not true?
I guess I don't know anything for sure. But I mean, I would love to find out for sure that it wasn't true because man, what a crazy thing to pull off. That was amazing.
Yeah.
But this whole chemtrail thing, it's like it's like I'm like they're called contrails first of all. And I had to explain to my wife, like, this whole idea that when you see the cloud trails in the sky from planes, that they're spraying us with something, right? That they're like spraying us with stuff that are going to control our thoughts and stuff like that for years and years and years. First off, do you realize how full the tanks would have to be in the plane to get stuff spread out that far?
I mean, it could be a thing though, bro.
But even presented with hard science, like I explained to Heidi, I said contrails are actually thermal changes. It's the same reason that your mirror fogs up when you take a shower. I said it's changes in temperature. Those guys are in really high, thin air, and when they cruise through, it will make the moisture and temperature change will cause a reflection and discoloration of shiny, like, crystally type things. It's a temperature change. It's like a powerful little like steam happening in cold air kind of thing.
Listen, I don't want to tell you you're wrong, but
dude. So anyway, so what's hilarious is I don't know if anyone else has ever been in the situation where I've had to convince my wife of prove to her, here's exhibit A about things that are just logical and pure science, like gravity. I'd be like, look, watch, I pick this up, it drops. She's like, yeah, but she's like, I don't know. I mean, and she'll tell me like crazy things. Like she would rather believe the thing that is founded on like just fear and excitement and drama rather than like hard science. Like you could have super proof. And you know what she'll tell me? You know what she said to me the other day? She goes like this. She says, yeah, but I've seen the TED Talks.
Okay.
That's what she said. I've seen the TED Talks. I've heard both sides. I just don't know. I've heard both sides, but I just don't know. She's trying to tell me that like we were talking about royalties, right? And like Psy and Gangnam Style, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that guy has streamed like millions of these things and he's made like a bunch of money of that. She's like, nope. I'm like, what do you mean nope? She's like, there's all kinds of famous people like actors and stuff who have to like go to the store and like drive themselves there. Like people aren't making as much money as you think. I'm like, what? Wait, what? And she's like, yeah, like he's probably just like really poor, like sitting in an apartment someplace because those guys, there's been actors in big shows. I'm like, wait a second. And so I teach a class on like intellectual properties and royalties in publishing.
Right.
So like I know about how like the different mechanical royalties, what you get for streaming, what you get for writing a song, what you get for. And it was just like, I'm like, dude, he owns that whole thing. He did it on his own, not only streaming, but he's the content creator and owner. He's the writer. Right. And I said, and it was licensed to like every dance music compilation. It's been on like commercials. He's got like ASCAP, all this stuff.
Right.
And I just showed her the stats. She's like, I was like, honey, I teach a class. Have you ever received a royalty check in your life? She's like, no. I said, I have.
Yeah.
I was like, I know how it works. But she won't believe me. She won't believe. She's like, I've seen the TED Talks, and I've heard both sides, and I just don't know. And the only time she'll believe me is if her mother calls, and she'll be like, "Hey, Mom, do you think this guy made a lot of money?"
Gosh.
Well, my mom says, yeah. So then, yeah. And there it is.
She's the perpetuator of fake news, guys.
Fake news. So it's one of those things, like, I think Reader's Digest started this, but she believes that if it's printed in a font, like not handwritten, if it's printed in a font, that it's real. You see what I'm saying? Like, I went to a website and there was text there that was typed. Like this, so that's real. You know, this is real information, because lies are only handwritten because they're from people. See, but this, look, this is typed. This is real words with fonts.
Yeah.
And it has punctuation.
Yeah.
And this is typed. So if I read it in a sentence like this is official. This is facts. I'm like, lies can be typed. And she's like, nope.
But what happens, I'm going to play this, what happens when our AI is even telling us things? If you happen to have an Amazon Alexa, here's what happens if you ask her about chemtrails.
Alexa, what's a chemtrail?
Chemtrail. Trails left by aircraft are actually chemical or biological agents deliberately sprayed at high altitudes for a purpose undisclosed to the general public in clandestine programs directed by government officials.
I'm just saying, Google knows. I'm just saying.
That's a prank.
Google knows.
That's a programmer prank. Those are smart people putting that, just like Siri would have wisecrack answers at you. Yeah. Those are programmers making fun of people.
I'm just saying
that don't like care for logic and science.
But when Alexa's telling you it's true,
Alexa.
Think about it, bro. A lot of people that are just stay at home, they're
clandestine.
Chilling. You don't need to ask for anything
Let me just
anymore.
tell you something.
You ask
to
your
get
little
that many
Android.
people in our country to agree on anything and not let the cat out of the bag is pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
And this is for years.
Yep.
Chemtrails. And then I have another friend who I'll leave nameless, Jason Smith.
Oh my gosh, don't even get it started.
Who was trying to convince me that maybe the world is flat after all.
I mean, maybe.
Really?
No.
No.
We got to take a break. Coming up on the 8 o'clock hour, we got some Red and some more Brodus. It's the Morning Invasion. Stay with us. Star 88.
Star 88 thanks Jake Canales at Doorway Home Loans for becoming a power partner. Jake Canales at Doorway Home Loans provides VA, FHA, USDA, and conventional home loans for purchase and refinance mortgages. Jake Canales, Doorway Home Loans, 505-261-5138. Doorway.com/Jake-Canales. Jake Can. Philippians 4:13. NMLS number 310617. Doorway Home Loans, a DBA of International City Mortgage Incorporated. NMLS number 222730.
This week on Connect with Skip Heitzig, Skip explains how you can make the most of your life.
Living well is seen in these 4 keys. But you live with death in mind. You live like you're camping out. It's only temporary. You live for the sake of others, but you live wanting to leave something that will outlive you.
Connect with Skip Heitzig this week as he continues the series Rock Solid.
Make an appointment for Skip Heitzig weekdays at 8 a.m. on our sister station, KNKT 107.1 FM. A supernova on Star 88 with David Jeremiah.
What happens when we die is that our spirit is separated from our body. When the spirit leaves the body, you're dead. In the body, which is the church, when the spirit leaves the body, the church dies. And what Jesus is saying to the church when he says, remember how thou hast received, it is a veiled reference, in my estimation, to the Holy Spirit and his ministry in the church. The exhortation is that believers are to remember how they received and heard. It is clearly a reference to the manner of receiving and hearing. And in all ages, the church has received and heard in the same way. When somebody is born again, he receives the Holy Spirit. He comes to dwell in the human heart.
Turning Point with David Jeremiah. Don't miss it on our sister station, KNKT, weekdays at 11 a.m. on 107.1 FM. On the air and in your face.
But lovingly so.
This is Star 88 at 88.3 FM, KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and online at star88.fm.
I'll smile
taste of fool this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down, down through the night time. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. I'll turn my head and shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah, I'll put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I'll put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm running with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Break down, only alone I'll cry out loud. You'll never see what's hiding out deep down. Yeah, I know, I've heard that to let your feelings show. It's the only way to make friendships grow. I'm too afraid now. Yeah, put my arm around, show you how strong I am. Put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm running with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I'm unstoppable. I'm running with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
I'm a king without a kingdom. Got my crown when I was young, but someone put it on my head. I swear I didn't know it. Then my queen couldn't find me. She got lost, couldn't find herself. So we bottled up our love and threw it in the ocean. And we let our guards down. Yeah. Did we let our guards down? And if I ever make you happy, what does that mean? And if your mouth is staring at me, what if I can't speak? I let my guard down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do we let our guards down? Ooh. in the red water while our love lies in the Neverlands, paradise in the ocean.
All is well. We're back with the Morning Invasion on Star 88.
Welcome.
What up? Good morning.
It is the Morning Invasion. Steve-O.
Brodus.
And my buddy Brodus.
Joey.
Hanging out with me.
Yeah, filling in, hanging out.
While Dexter is away. Pray for my homeboy.
And so Steve-O's been at the controls. There's been some people like, hey, we missed all the sound effects. Yeah, that's because Steve-O doesn't know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, dude, what are you talking about?
Like Steve-O, like the mics are on, so you should be happy.
I barely know how to do my job when I'm just like talking trash to other people and being a jerk. Now I have to actually like run stuff.
Yeah. Man,
I'm the worst
multitask.
at this.
Yeah.
So anyways, welcome to the show.
So
This was great. We were talking about audiobooks.
Yeah, so we're talking about audiobooks, and it got to audio stuff, and I was talking about church this weekend, and I use like a Bible app on my iPad that I will look up verses, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can look up like almost any translation, and then it'll play an audio version. And I found this translation called the Jamaican Creole English translation, and it's like phonetic, you know, like you could, like if you were to read it, me as just a normal little white dude, it would say like, you know, John
Why you gotta say
3:19.
normal? What do you mean by normal?
I guess I'm not normal, but I'm definitely a white dude.
Yeah, you're a white
and
guy.
so just, I like how that's the part you disagreed with.
Why? Because it's like
that's the
what do you
part that
mean?
was edgy,
What
was
do you
saying
mean?
normal instead of me calling myself a white dude. Okay, so yeah, so I'm reading it, and it's all, you know, if I read it literally, it's like, now a this you make people get right off. The one we a delight come in the world, but the people them we live in the world love darkness instead of light.
I
And
love
so, but it's spelled phonetically. And so I was like, this is impossible. Like, why would it do this? And so it actually has an audio thing, and I'm going to actually play this John 3:19 for you through 21 in the Jamaican Creole.
No. At this you make people get right off. The one where the light come in at the world. But the people them where live in at the world love darkness instead of light. Them love the dark, cause bear wickedness them do. Cause everybody where the wrong hate light, and them no want to walk out in at the light. Cause them afraid to the light when show up the bad sitting them where them a do. But the smart will do what God said the right thing to do, walk out in at the light. So that everybody can see say really God make him do where him a do.
What?
Yep. Oh, wait.
Here.
What?
After that.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so
That's the translation.
So like literally it's K-A-A.
I love everything about this.
And then everybody is E-V-R-I-B-A-D-I. Ka everybody, we do, rang, yet, late, and dem no want, W-A-A-H-N, wan. Dem no wan, fi walk, W-A-A-K, out in a delight. Ka dem fried, see delight, green, show up the bad, see dem, we dem a do.
Okay.
But the somebody we a do what God see the right thing for do. Walk out there in the light so that everybody can see.
I
a
love
real
that this is
God
the translation
make
you
him do
use.
we do.
It's my favorite.
It's pretty dope.
I mean, you don't want to say that when we're playing Bob Marley and rocking the Jamaican version.
I can't believe it.
Hope, not dope, guys.
That's not what I meant.
Hope, not dope.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Man.
Singing sweet songs.
So this reminds me, it's going to be a real weird thing, but you were asking me about like honeymoons.
Yeah, off air.
Right?
Well, I read the story and it kind of like threw me for a loop because honeymoons are out. And I'm like, wait. What?
What?
Yeah, like you went on a legit honeymoon?
Well, sort of.
Okay.
So we like, you know, we like basically me and my wife, we basically paid for our own wedding, right?
Right.
We had big dreams, and we're like, we're going to Scotland for our honeymoon.
Oh, dude,
So,
I have
yeah.
always wanted to go to
Exactly.
Scotland.
And so we had the wedding, we did like the dollar dance thing, and then we saw how much money we had.
Yeah.
So we decided to go to Scottsdale. Which is, you know, it's the same. So we went to Scottsdale, Arizona instead. And my dad worked. My dad, who's like hilarious and yet funnily shady.
Yeah.
He was working at a Radisson Resort, which is closed now. They're over like in
I remember
the Fashion Island or whatever it's called, that area of Scottsdale. And so he just had me come. We went and stayed there at the resort, but he wanted it to feel all like exotic. So there was like a Jamaican dude on staff, and he would like. My dad would like bring over. My dad was in charge of like the buffets and the conventions and stuff. So my dad would bring me like bring us like leftover plates. Like he would scoop up a plate of just random things from the buffet and take it to us. And so
but it wasn't like from half-eaten plates?
No. I mean, he would like go through and skip, but it was like, it made it feel like room service was just showing up.
Right.
So we'd get a knock on the door. And there's palm trees in Arizona, which makes no sense either. But there's palm trees. And it's like, oh, hey, your man is boy.
That is
and congratulations.
So awesome.
And he's giving us this thing, and it's got like honey shrimp with like cantaloupe on top of, scooped on it, and then like some cottage cheese or whatever. Well, thank you. And so it's just really weird, but I mean, we did. But the point is that we went on a honeymoon.
Dude.
And it seems like real life doesn't start until you get back from that. Like real life doesn't start until when you get married. And when you see that first bill that has both your names on it sent to your address, and you're like, okay, guess what? We in it.
Yeah.
We in it for real.
Dude, you just said something that jogged my memory about this weekend at the airport. Jack and I sat down. We were waiting to order some food before our flight. And a lady next to us, we were at like a pizza place. And a lady next to us took 2 slices of her pizza. She had like one of those mini pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were 4 slices left. And she was sitting there just eating. And she ate her 2 slices. And she looked at her watch and she goes, I got to go. She looks at us and says, do you guys want the rest of my pizza? I didn't like touch it or anything except for like pulling the slices off. So my fingers touched the crust, but that's it. Do you guys want my pizza? And I'm like,
I probably would have said yes.
Yeah, I said yes. I said yes. It was us. And I was going, this is going to save us a few bucks because now I'm only going to have to order 1 pizza and we'll split that one and this one. But like it took me a minute because I'm weird about food.
Right.
So...
But it's not as if like she pulled it out of her trench coat pocket, right? It's not like, hey,
do
you guys want some of this?
Want some pizza?
She didn't do like a me without you and like bring you like a dumpster dive buffet. You saw like where the pizza came from, and you saw like she,
I don't know. It was still
it's
like
the kindness
a weird...
of strangers. Yeah, it is a little weird because you would only do that with somebody you know,
right?
Right.
Because there have been times where I've been at a restaurant, like especially like sushi joints. Sushi's expensive, and you sit down and there's like the table next to you that just left, and it's like, man, they left like 4 or 5 rolls over there. So who's gonna dig into those? I'm not kidding. Am I the only one here? Has anybody ever done that? It just it's like gross, and I want to, but
I think
can't.
It's a case by case basis.
But what if you didn't see the people that left the table?
I wouldn't do it.
It's just there, and you're going.
No, I wouldn't do it. No, because there could be a reason why it's left behind.
Because they didn't accept Jesus into their heart.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the food rapture came, the food rapture came, and the inspector left those guys behind. But
I'm just saying.
But you saw this food, and it's pizza. Pizza's not like it's not like she gave you like a half-eaten slice of meatloaf that was like fork in it.
But would you eat that?
No way.
We hadn't eaten breakfast yet, man. That was our breakfast.
Dude, I wouldn't. No, I mean the pizza thing. Yeah, I would take a slice from someone. If you saw them, like I'd be like, okay, whatever. Just depends. But it's a case by case. But yeah, I get it though. It'd feel weird.
I mean,
I'd think about it for a minute for sure.
I did. I had to think about it, and I stared at it, and then Jack just started digging in, and I was like waiting a few minutes, and I'm like, how long does it take for poison to kick in? All right, I'll give it a 2-minute countdown. All right, he's still chewing. I'm gonna eat some of this.
Did you guys pray for it before?
That would have been smart.
Yeah.
But it felt like, do you pray for appetizers? Because it felt like the appetizer. Because we didn't even order that. And nobody prays for appetizers, right? Do you pray for appetizers? Do you pray before you eat appetizers? That's a real question. I mean, I don't know.
I guess not. I don't know. I never thought about it.
Like, when do you pray? I mean, it's like the food comes and you're like, all right, let's pray. But What if it's like, hey, your chips and salsa are here. Do you pray for your chips and salsa?
I don't know, man. I guess depends on how hot the salsa is, because then it's like that's when you pray for like no post trib.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amazing.
We had someone text in, said that we've taken a full basket of fried okra off another table after they left. It was full, and it felt weird, but it was delicious.
I'm always that guy. I'm just saying.
So I guess if you know where it came from, and especially if you saw it get there, you know, but still, you're still, I don't know. It is weird. Another guy says he totally done that. I've never eaten anything from a random table, but the thought definitely crossed my mind.
Right. That's what I'm
Dougie
saying. You walk into a restaurant, like I said, sushi, like an expensive, classy place, and you're going, dude, that's like $23 of sushi just sitting on that table.
One dude's
They're
like,
all gone.
One dude actually said, if it's there, it's all good. Sushi is sushi. Grab
Yes!
it. Let me tell you something. Sushi's not sushi. Okay? I don't know, this guy's 505 area code, because guess what? We're in New Mexico.
Yeah, that's
okay?
true.
There's no such thing as like fish catch of the day.
Yeah.
So there's always a possibility that, but yeah, no, I don't know, man. I guess it's something, it's case by case. But it's not behavior that I would promote.
Yeah.
It's not that, you know, it's not that you say this is what we should do.
But who does it? Because it sure seems like everyone does it, y'all judges.
I know, but I think like yours was a little bit different because it was presented and offered, as opposed to like it was left there,
right?
And you were like,
yeah, but man,
and you're like, hey Jack, just go, and because you don't want to do it, you know, so you make your kids do. You make your kids do all the sketchy things. My dad would do that all the time. Before you could have like back when there was handicap parking spaces, but before you had to register like a tag or something like that, you just, you know, you're on the honor system.
Oh no.
So we would go to stores and stuff, and I'm like 10. And my dad would want to park in the handicap spot, and he would tell me, he'd make me limp into the store. He's like, walk like your leg's busted. So I'm there walking with my leg like sideways all and acting like I'm totally like just not myself. And so like dragging like my stub leg all the way into the store. And I couldn't be like till I was 10 feet, and he told me I could walk normal again. And then I had to limp on the way out again to get back in the car and he would make me do that.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he would make me do that so that he could park in the parking spot, because no one's going to say, oh my gosh, dude, you don't have a tag. And then you could say, well, look at my kid, dude, he's struggling. What are you going to make fun of the kids? And so yeah,
I
dude,
love your dad.
It's just messed up, man.
That is very messed up.
He would do that to me all the time. He's like, just limp in.
505-585-LIVE. That's 585-5483 if you'd like to text into the show, be a part of it. It was a California pizza kitchen, and a lady offered us the rest of her pizza, and we totally took it. But I was thinking, if there were 4 slices of pizza left, just kicking it on the table next to me, would I have accepted it?
Well, it's California
feel
Pizza
like
Kitchen,
I would
so
have.
that's kind of high grade, right? So
It was, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like skunk pizza.
Somebody said it kills me when people leave a basket full of sopapillas. I want to eat them, but I never do. Oh, dude, come on. You take those sopapillas. Somebody had a great idea, I think on Facebook, who said they would get all the leftover food and then take it out of the restaurant when they left and like hand it to a homeless person. So it's like they wouldn't eat it, but somebody's going to eat it.
Someone said they went to Flying Star the other day, and the lady sitting next to her or him ordered a full breakfast, eggs, potatoes, and toast. She only ate half her eggs and left. I was dumbfounded and ate her potatoes. See, some of this stuff is like bordering on, like that wasn't offered to you.
Who cares?
And then someone else asked, you know, would you drink an unopened drink that was just sitting in a random public place? You'd probably want to test the fizz, because that
if
would
it
really.
was like, you open it and it's like brand new.
If the fizz is still there, that means it hasn't been.
Right.
You know,
would you drink it?
I don't know, man. Depends on how thirsty I was.
505-338-3700 if you'd like to call in.
You had your son check for poison before he ate it.
Yeah,
First
bro.
off, where does your poison checking skills come from? Did you ever work for a Secret
No,
Service?
it's biblical, bro. They had wine testers, and they'd have people eat it, and
just
then if they
means
didn't
like,
die.
So that's the thing. It's not like you could taste like, oh, this has traces of arsenic. It's more like, oh, if I die here, don't eat that. Like that's your test.
I'm just saying. Just saying. Phone lines are open, 338-3700. Good morning. Hi.
Hey, so I just had a thought on this, the whole, food on the table thing.
Yeah.
So we as Americans, we're pretty wasteful, man.
We are.
We leave a lot of good food go to waste, and so I say more power to the people who are not letting food go to waste, considering how many people in the world would literally kill to eat somebody else's leftovers here in America.
Yeah. See? Just doing good things.
Yeah, okay.
Getting people to think about
That's
it.
the whole, there's starving people in Africa thing.
It's
but
true.
I can tell you right now, I grew up at the Boys Ranch where we had to clean our plates, right?
Right.
Well, that mentality has made me fat. like, there's no regard for, portioning, or there's no regard for, hey, I'm full. I should stop eating. Instead, it's I got to finish this. I can't let it go to waste. And before I know it, I was, eating everything. And then I was always, perpetually, a chunky kid. And guess what? I had 2 years where I was skinny because of science, and now I'm a chunky adult. And so I got to, stop. So I'm definitely finishing my own plate is probably the problem right there.
Yeah.
But I can't start finishing other people's plates because then it's just going to get out of hand.
Yeah, but then that means you order less, so you're saving money. I don't know,
but
man.
you're still eating more because you're taking dude's plate next to you.
Thanks for calling, man. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I was just gonna say, if only they had an invention where you could take your leftovers home with you, some kind of a
If
box
only.
for to-go food.
Oh yeah, like a bag.
Dude, thank
like
you
a
for
bag
calling.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, growing up, I
Touche,
hated
dude,
leftovers.
touche. Yeah.
My mom would want us to take the leftovers and be like, I'm never touching this again. And now on the flip side, maybe it's because now I pay the bills. I'm taking
Yeah.
everybody's leftovers.
Yeah.
I'm eating it for lunch.
Oh, we saving
I'm
that.
eating. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I eat
Yeah.
all leftovers now, even at home. I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
So,
One
man.
person says, I think I'll draw the line at a half-eaten hot dog at the ballpark.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I probably wouldn't do that. I
Yeah.
probably would not do that.
Because at that point, food like that, that's basically the trash. It's just not in the trash. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm
but
just
that's
saying,
what would be
ain't
thrown
got
in
no
the trash.
Shame. Ain't got no shame.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you
dude.
could eat the hot dog from the other end, just up to the bite
What
mark.
is going on? Why? This should not even be this much consideration.
I'm just saying. Jeff on Facebook Live said, I drank a cold Monster that was left in a shopping cart in a parking lot. Is that bad? It was still cold. Nah, man.
No, dude.
That's all you.
Dude.
That is all you.
Poison's frozen. They keep it when they ship it in.
Kim says, would that be considered stealing, eating off somebody else's table? Nah. Why? They paid for it. I don't know.
I did it once, and they were still sitting there. That wasn't. It was maybe. It was forcing them to treat me. So
Yeah.
it's sort of stealing. It's more like in. But yeah, I don't
See,
know.
Casey on Facebook says, I don't eat leftovers. I send it to work with my husband. But that's still good. You
Yeah.
still keep it.
Yeah.
That's I eat all the
So
leftovers.
I'll do that all the time.
Loves me some
Or I'll
leftovers.
order something big. It's like, dude, I can take half this home. It'll make for great lunch tomorrow. Or something like that. Yeah. No,
It's
that's
just
different.
Now,
But
okay.
you're talking about food from strangers.
Do you think it would be
Food
weird?
that you have scavenged from strangers.
So-
Not the kindness of strangers like what happened to you. What you had was someone being a good Samaritan, the
Right.
kindness of
Yeah.
strangers saying, hey, I have these 2 pieces of pizza. They haven't been touched. Would you
guys
like
like
to have them? That is a completely different situation
yeah,
than
bro.
sitting there all, hey, man, those people left. And the busser hasn't picked up the thing yet.
So
we'll leave the tip they left. We won't take the money, but we should get those potatoes.
So it's good form to take the food if the stranger offers you the
Oh,
food.
of course.
It's bad form to sit down at a restaurant and ask for a takeout box before you even order so you can get the
I'm not gonna
leftovers
say-
on the next table.
I'm not gonna say it's good form because you should always be able to opt out. So even if the stranger said, "Hey, would you like to have some of this gluten-free who knows what, but
Yeah.
you see that, when she talks she spits, right? And so you're like, well, so there's all you should be able to opt out always.
Yeah.
But yes, that's
if she
better
had said
for.
like, "Hey, would you guys like my pizza?" I would have probably been like, "No, thank you. We're vegan.
You're all,
we can't eat that. There was meat on it.
You guys,
would you like some pizza?"
Does anyone have that kind of headgear
Yes,
anymore?
I think some people do.
Oh my god!
I'm serious. It's possible.
Oh,
I would not take that.
See, so some people, now there's some people texting in that have like some really level-headed advice. They're like, hey man, a lot of food does get wasted. When my wife and I go out, we agree on something and always share. Saves us a couple bucks as well.
There
See?
you go.
That's good.
Dude, somebody said if a popcorn bucket is still loaded and thrown in the trash in the right fashion, total score at the movie theaters. That's true. You get a free refill on larges, man.
Oh.
How have I never thought of this? I'm saving $12. It's expensive.
Now, if you can call out what this is not food, but you know how iPhone or iPod plugs and adapters were kind of scarce, they'd get lost.
Oh yeah.
So what I would do is whenever I would go and visit a hotel, you go to the lobby, and I would just say, I wouldn't lie, but I would say, hey, do you have any old iPhone adapters that have been orphaned that need a home?
Why
that
have I not thought of
that
this?
have been here over a month? Because I guarantee they have a drawer full of them all the time. And so, and if
These
it's
are good
over a
life
month,
hacks.
they're not coming back, So I say, do you have any orphaned adapters that could be that need a home? And they'll be like, yeah, we have a drawer full of them.
Oh man.
You're like, sweet.
See, I'm just saying.
That's a good life hack.
I'm just saying.
And so this person said it's hilarious how the germaphobe Steve-O and the cheapo Steve-O clash when it comes to food. There's your inner conflict. It's true. It's like,
I am a germaphobe. It's so true. But I'm more frugal than I am a germaphobe.